principles. I asked her, well, how was the lovemaking? She was, well, I was constantly praying to give you what you need the most, and so forth. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I don't do that. My strategy in the lovemaking was, okay, what was the best lovemaking we had? Okay, we did this and this and that. Okay, I tried to do that again. And put an extra something on it to try to make it better.
Everything that we speak about implies that we already have a relatively profound understanding of ourselves, which many of us don't have. This is oftentimes a bit of difficulty when we come to apply spiritual principles, that they are, they are written very often in the old scripts, even on a background of, well, first you awaken the soul, and then on top of that, explore Eros, explore this, explore that. And then most of us, we do not have our soul awakened, but we are struggling with being identified with our mind, with our limited idea of ourselves, with ego, selfishness, and so forth. So oftentimes the first stage of this is to profoundly feel, perceive, really experience these principles inside of you. And the first homework that you can take on is to explore the deeper needs of your own soul, and to understand, okay, right now, like Uriel described before, I really, really want to touch. You can do this with yourself as well, not to saying, okay, now I really, really, really want this cake, or I really, really, really want to just, I don't know what, watch a YouTube clip or something there. But then you can ask yourself, where is this really coming from? What is my deep need? I want this piece of cake, even though I'm not at all hungry. I want it because it tells me that I love myself. It tells me that I care. It gives me comfort. Okay, but how could that deep need of feeling cared for and comforted and embraced and loved, how could that really be fulfilled best? Because surely a piece of cake wasn't made to give you love. It tastes sweet, yes. For a second it gives you, a little vague attempt of feeling good, or something like that. But it is not made for loving you, like a human heart is made for loving you. So maybe in that moment you ask yourself, okay, maybe what would fit me better would be a hug from somebody. So I could ask someone to hug me. Or if I maybe don't have a person, then maybe I can at least have a cuddle session with my stuffed toy animal, or with my pet, or with the tree in the park, or something like that in quarantine times. So learn to distinguish what are your deep needs. Also, that will help you not to continuously ask for having your superficial needs met superficial desires met by your partner, which is very often what keeps us away from Eros, is that we want the other one to do stuff for us that feeds the level of ego, that feeds the superficial desires, and that doesn't really profoundly make us happy. We think we know. This is what Uriel said before. It's not so much that I want him to tell me what I feel, but his reflection of me helps me to see myself better. And then in that process, as I learn something of myself, I also learn something of him. If I can see myself better, I can see him better. If I can understand my deeper happiness, I can understand his deeper happiness as well. So prepare yourself in this way. Understand yourself first. Come in touch with your deepest needs first. And then from that understanding of happiness, you have something that now you can offer. Remember that your happiness feeds the happiness of your beloved, and their happiness feeds your own happiness. So then you can really become players that are their own person and are in that way differentiated, but in the same time are willing then to take those limits away in order to come together and to meet and to become one in that way. Just as a practical sharing, maybe it sometimes might sound in these lectures, you might be like, yeah, but where are the very practical tips of when do I put my hand on the butt and when, I don't know what. But I would like you to contemplate how it might look like like Uriel was sharing already, to put these aspects into practice in the bedroom. And from my experience, it is extraordinary actually what happens when I, like Uriel said, when I just put the question. When I'm there with my beloved, when I'm there with Uriel, and I ask myself, okay, what, from the depth of my soul, feeling his soul, what does he really want? And sometimes it is the funniest things that come up. Sometimes I will feel, I should give out energy from my feet or something weird. And I'll be like, all right, let's do that. And then I start doing that, and then it induces in me a massive state of orgasm, which then he's completely delighted about. Yeah, so it can be very, very interesting, unexpected discoveries that you make when you just allow to really feel, okay, you tune in, you go into that erotic flow, you deeply connect with the other, you forget about yourself. I mean, that orgasm was very beautiful for me, but it didn't come from a place of, let me have an orgasm, so he will probably be happy about it. But it was just really tuning in, not even understanding why am I feeling this impulse, but then just following that intuition, feeling deeply in the heart, and okay, energy through the feet, and we fly, I don't know where. So this little sentence, this little principle that invites you to continuously relate to the deepest needs of your lover is actually a tantric secret key, you could say, to unlock all sorts of interesting dimensions that you don't find as long as you stay selfish, as long as you stay connected only to the superficial desires and levels. You will not even touch there. It's not written anywhere. Nobody knows. It's a unique experience that you will have with your beloved just due to the fact that you are aiming from the depth of your soul to make their depth of the soul very, very happy and fulfilled. So hopefully that will inspire you.
Yes, Blandine would tell me for years these principles. I asked her, well, how was the lovemaking? She was, well, I was constantly praying to give you what you need the most and so forth. And I thought, that's interesting. I don't do that. My strategy in the lovemaking was, okay, what was the best lovemaking we had? Okay, we did this and this and that. Okay, I tried to do that again. It didn't work.
It's a masculine approach.
Yeah, it's a very masculine, just to understand, because there's probably a man or two listening to us.
10%.
Or 10% of the... So this was, for me, for years, the strategy. Try to copy the best thing we've done before and put an extra something on it to try to make it better. It's a very, very technical approach, and it has extremely, extremely limited results when it comes to cooking. And she would tell me this for years, and it just didn't cross my mind. I can do the same. I can also just ask myself. And then once this shift happens, and I also heard the lectures and so forth about this, and things started to click.
Tell him it's a classic thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and now a man is telling you. So only then it clicked, and then it just changed completely. And the love, before the lovemaking was quite a thing. I had to remember from last time, and then to do this and to do that, and you're also continent. You also don't ejaculate. And you have to keep your erection. You have to move like this, and you have to do like that. And last time was like this. It was very, very complicated, and it really involved a lot of mental effort and be loving. So it was not easy. But now it's just be loving, and just be loving and sacrifice your agenda and feel what's her deep need. Sacrifice your agenda, feel what's her. Super, super simple. And I don't know where it's going, and I'm constantly surprised. It's so much easier, and it's not 10 times more fulfilling. It's fulfilling in a completely different dimension, and it just creates a very profound satisfaction and very profound connection and intimacy between us.
The difficult part of it is that your ego will for sure complain, because maybe the only thing that will happen in that session is that you look at each other. Or maybe you kiss, and after 10 minutes your beloved has something rising from their inner world, and then they cry and you need to take care of them and so forth. And the ego will give you 1,000 reasons in these moments to be frustrated, to judge yourself, to judge the other, to find ways to say why the other is so childish and so selfish, and you are like that and they are like that, and in that way hijacking a situation that can actually be really, really wonderful, making it look bad, making something negative from it. Oh, but going through the hell of the other one, that was not on the plan. That's not what I signed up for. Sure, when they cry a little, I will be there. Sure, you know, there's a certain deal of allowance that we go for. But to really intimately be there with another being and see what is inside of them that is difficult, see their ecstasy, see their difficulty and all of that, and share it fully and be with that fully without demanding, without saying, oh, but now give me into my little empty cup because I'm so hungry and I'm so starved and so forth. So that is the big challenge of it, actually. And yeah, hopefully you have the courage to look into it. Let's see if we have some questions. Yeah, exactly what we were saying. Also, you will need to have a good understanding of what it takes to really deeply fulfill your soul, but not on this superficial level that it is sometimes placed, that it's like, well, yeah, you know, I masturbated for the last 10 years, so I know how to twist the dildo and put the thing, and if you don't do exactly like that, then I'm just not going to be happy about it. Not at all that, but really learning what fulfills you in the depth of your soul, and then you can share from that depth with the other. Yeah, so you take a pot of honey and then you put it in front of you. No, the answer is if you want to attract a tantric lover, become a tantric lover. This will be the easiest way. When you start applying these principles, it will become very, very evident within your life how people that you attract will be different type of people somehow. If you want to read a little bit some inspiring things about this, you can read David Deda's Dear Lover. It's anyways a wonderful book to understand some of the principles, by far not all of them, but some of them, in a very beautiful and poetic way. He has great ways of describing these principles, and one of them is that he's giving this idea of stages of surrender and presence for men and women, and how a fully, completely stage 3 surrendered woman will always attract a fully, completely stage 3 present man. So he's putting a whole lot of spin onto this theory of being capable of coming to the fullness of your own tantric expression will attract also such a lover. Will this Eros mini-series be available on YouTube? Yes, it will be. So go to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, click
all the bells, everything.
The bells!
Yes. And this also answers the question before. Yes, if you start to love everyone in that way, and the phone rings and it's your mother, and you think, what would really fulfill my mother? What would make my mother really, really happy? And then instead of just doing your normal mechanical tour, and how's this, and how's that, boom, use the same time to fulfill, your mother. Maybe she is lonely. Maybe she needs to hear she was a good mother. Maybe she needs to hear that some of the qualities that she has, you took from her, and now you put them in your life. How fulfilling would that be for a mother? And then for you to give such happiness to your mother, you'll be walking on clouds. And the same with your co-workers. Look at them. You go every day there. Look at them. What do their soul really need? And you become like an angel in your workplace. And you bring so much happiness because you are attentive. Look with your heart on their heart. What do they need? This one today needs a little bit of somebody to listen to them. Some encouragement, something. And once you start to fulfill that, you become angelic. And you will draw to your life other angelic human beings and wonderful lovers and so forth.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, Tantra and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.